Three Arrows Capital's NFT collection, what projects are in there, what the future holds for the Troubled Funds collection. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. And if you enjoy the content, make sure that you hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. Node, Three Arrows Capital, what's the deal?
Good afternoon and welcome to the NFT afternoon YouTube show, the Nifty Alpha, the NFT Alpha, the Nifty Portal. What is our name? Do we have a name, an official name yet, Pio?
Don't worry, there's going to be a really good name coming right down the pipe, and it's going to be the only name that you see. There's not going to be 20 names anymore. Nice joke, Node.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're talking 3AC. So to give people some background, right? So we know that we got Kyle Davies, Suzu, legends known as like absolute legend traders, went nuts, apparently made billions of dollars. And then we hear about all this insanity that went down. So essentially they lost their shirt. They got liquidated. They blew up. They lost like 700 million in the Luna collapse. They obviously made aggressive bets, they've got loans from like so they owe $3.5 billion to lenders, which is a lot of money.
Wow.
What's crazy too is like even Suzu has a filing against 3AC saying that 3AC owes him $5 million.
Oh
and
my God.
It's one of their wives. I think it's Suzu's wife. I'm not sure, but one of their wives is claiming that they owe her $66 million. Which is absurd. They bought like $80 million, like two bungalows worth 80 million plus. So, I mean, it was crazy how much money that they were able to convince people to, lend them just based on their reputation alone. Right. Kind of wild, man.
Yeah, it's insanely wild. Shit, man. I mean, look, so for people that don't know, Three Arrows Capital was a Singapore-based crypto hedge fund, okay? And then on June 27, 2022, so less than a month ago, they were ordered to liquidate by a court in the British Virgin Islands. It was founded in 2012. So they've been around for about 10 years now, and they went from not a lot of money to, at one point, its last public statement, the fund claimed a net asset value of 18 billion bucks. So you have a major come up, right? But a very irresponsible come up, apparently, basically like degenerate behavior, as if they were just like some crypto degens, only to the scale of billions of dollars. And then when the bear market came and Terra Luna's issue, Do Kwon specifically, that whole thing, they just got completely wrecked to the tune of all the figures that Node just threw out there. The saddest part of the whole thing, I think, is that a lot of people really looked at Suzu as like a big brain thought leader in the space. I remember I was exposed to him for the first time when a friend of mine who's really into Ethereum, of course, sent me a video where Suzu was talking about how, if I recall correctly, it was that Bitcoin north of $500,000, which is at $500,000 per Bitcoin, you're looking at the same market cap as gold right now. It's about a $9-10 trillion market cap. And he was saying past 500K, it doesn't really make sense, for Bitcoin to continue increasing in value. He was basically saying Bitcoin could only match the market cap of gold, and that's it. And I always thought it was weird. And I also just thought that he was looking at it from such a trader mentality, if you listen to the other things that he talked about. And so for this to happen, it's kind of like a little bit of it's a big time egg on their face moment where it's just like, what the hell were you doing? And so we're looking at their NFT collection now. So NFTs are the riskiest shit, right? NFTs is like the risky asset class in the risky asset class. It's like orders of magnitude more risk than traditional investing asset classes. And when you look at this portfolio, yeah, there's some good stuff in it, but there's also some completely ridiculous shit in it bought at relatively high prices. I have to think some of this stuff is random shit that got airdropped into the collection, but I don't know. It's that makes it kind of hard to tell. But you do see a lot of Fidenzas. The thing that you see with the Fidenzas, though, is you see really high price tags. Like this Fidenza was bought for 125 ETH, and It was bought August 20th, 2021 at 125 ETH. So ETH was probably at $2,000 or $3,000 at that point. So they're way underwater on that Fidenza.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing I'll mention too, just taking one step back, is I remember not only did Suzu apparently, offend you Bitcoiners over there, dude. He big time offended all of us ETH maxis over here.
Oh, so he's just offending everybody.
Dude, in the fall, it was like late fall, I think, or early winter. One of the like sometime around there. He basically said like Ethereum has abandoned its users. It's ridiculous. Like I'm leaving. I can't stand like, these crazy fees. They're all sitting around circle jerking to the burn. I mean, he was like super like
harsh.
Pretty harsh. And then it comes out like a week or two later that like their fund bought like 9 figures worth of ETH or something. So it was like just felt a little disingenuous, and like maybe he was trying to manipulate the market. Yeah. I don't know. But
that's a traditional banking move. That's a Jamie Dimon move right there.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for us to chat with DC, because he was pissed when that came on. And he's been a very vocal opponent of theirs for a long time, like before all this went down, because he could tell like these guys were mercenaries, absolute mercenaries. Not, I respect people that want to make money in the space, but they were not necessarily trying to do, what's right by everybody. And I think he may have walked back that statement. But anyway, coming back to their collection, here's my overall thought process on their collection in general, like why they did this. A lot of people think like, hey, this was a big investment for them. I kind of think, dude, that they were just out there trying to just flex, like just straight up be like, look at how much effing money we have. And we're going to go and we're going to pick up the grails of all these collections. And we're just going to like have the greatest gen art collection out there. Like we don't even care about the money. So that may be part of it. So they got like, here you can see like 30 Fidenzas or something, like 20 or 30. The Genesis right there, that was on day one. These are crypto blots. I remember those.
They got crypto blots. Yeah, they're at 0.45 right now. All the buys are at 1 ETH or above. They're just so underwater on all this shit.
So high. They bought everything. Yeah, like pretty dang high. Like what was this? I mean, look, I love their collection.
Fidenza right there.
Dude,
yeah,
a lot of these Fidenzas look fantastic.
They felt that an appropriate price for this was 99 ETH on July 31st, 2021. That's what they valued this at, is probably around $300,000. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not worth that today.
They're up in ETH terms on this one, I'll tell you that. But maybe not so much in the USD, right? So it depends on how you denominate your portfolio. So you got to give them. I think Fidenzas are at a triple-digit floor right now, so they're okay. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the dollar value that they spent on these was insane. Like I can see a Unigrid there. Like, oh, that's a nice. I don't know that I've noticed that Fidenza before. All black and white. Looks kind of cool.
That's a crazy Fidenza right there. Too bad they're definitely underwater on that one too. Look, I'm being harsh on them right now.
They're going to be underwater on freaking everything. Yeah, they are underwater. They're as underwater as it gets, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so look, I see 116 ETH Fidenza. I see 112.5 ETH Fidenza, a 160. I see a 56, and that's a black and white Fidenza, so that's definitely a good buy. I see an 18. I see a that's pretty much all the good buys.
Check out that Unigrids. I think Unigrids are at a much lower floor right now. Maybe not, but that 21 ETH buy, is that what I saw? That's
12.5, and they're at 13. So again, wrecked in above water or at value in ETH terms, but by no means was this a good move. I see like a good buy on a Curio card right here. They paid 1 ETH for, or it's, oh, never mind. It's impossible to tell how much they paid for a Curio card because it's an ERC 1155. But I mean, look, they do have like good stuff. They just overpaid for absolutely everything. They
bought so much too. Like, just so much. Keep scrolling a little bit. We're gonna get to the ringers here in a second.
Look at how many ringers they have.
Dude, look at the goose. The goose is the gold one. It's not that one that you see there. Oh, on the far right there. Whoa. That's the goose. Check out how much they paid for that sucker.
They paid 1,800 Ethereum in August of last year.
Yeah, dude, this was like the grail, and I think it was what, $2 or $3 million. Like this is, and it's funny too. Like, yeah, this one's cool. It kind of looks like a goose, right? They call it the golden goose, and so maybe this is the like most pristine ringer in some people's opinion. But like the fact that they just straight up paid what was that? 1,800 ETH back in whenever that was. That's like,
Look, I'm gonna go August. Because I gotta know. I gotta know
yeah,
this
we
one.
got to figure this out.
So August 27th, 2021 ETH price is the historical price on that day. August, or sorry, dude. I mean, Google. Like, this is actually a pretty easy thing. Can't you just tell me exactly? All right. Hey, all you entrepreneurs out there, if you want to figure out what business needs to be built, it's something where I just type in a day and you tell me how much Ethereum was that day. Like, is that okay? Okay, here we go. I got it. So Analytic Insight, shout out to you. August 27, 2021, Ethereum cost, oh my God, bro, $3,089. So
dang.
1,800 times 3,039 is 5.5 million for a single digital JPEG of a ringer. 5.5 million. It actually isn't as bad as you'd think, but they're down. I mean, this probably would sell today for like 500K. How much?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to know what the liquidity is for like the top item in a collection, right? Like, or the top 1%. Like, it's kind of like saying, what's this specific Basquiat worth today, like at this very moment. So, like, I don't know. I think in ETH terms, it might sell for the exact same. Honestly, like it might be similar, or I mean, maybe not. Maybe a little under 1,000 ETH. So yeah, like half of the ETH value, and then half in ETH terms, and then a third in dollar value. So that's pretty bad in terms of a loss. But that's what's tricky, right? Is like if they try and offload this entire collection, like what are they going to, how are they going to value this specific piece versus the overall set? Because like they paid 1,800 ETH for this thing. Like that's a, you can buy a lot of freaking NFTs on the floor for that. So I wonder how it's going to play out. And I mean, I honestly, for the market's sake, I hope that they just do an OTC deal. Though it might be super fun and interesting if they do some kind of auction, right, for specific sets or whatever. Like, it's going to be fascinating.
I love how like they were like art maxis too. You know what I mean? Like, I love how it's all the fine art shit and they overpaid for it excessively. So this pigment was bought for 25 ETH in August and the floor is 3.5 right now.
Oh man, they are down. And you want to know why too? It's like they got totally caught up. I mean, so did the rest of us, but like, dude, they're a fund, but they got caught up right in the middle of the like perhaps generational gen art bubble, right? Like right in the middle of that thing, they got fully caught up in it. If they decided to do that fund in January, this thing might be pure PFPs, right? It'd be super interesting to think about what they would do.
Yeah, I mean, like that. I just pulled up another one, 720 minutes, identical. They paid 25.
I forgot about those. Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah, they paid 25 ETH for it. It's worth 3.5 right now. It's identical. Like they kept doing that. I mean, look at this dynamic slices right here. These are dope.
I like the dynamic slices. Yeah.
Yeah, they paid 12 ETH. What else is new? And the floor right now is 3. I mean, these guys are the kings of paying double digits, and the floor is 3 now. Like
because they just wanted, and maybe some of these, like I haven't checked on a lot of these, right? Are some of these like super unique and rares of those collections? But I mean, just let it be a lesson, right? To like, if you are trying to scoop up a bunch of stuff, those subscapes, those are actually still worth a good amount.
Yeah, they spent. Yeah, they spent 30 on this one. The floor is 13.
Okay, they're still way underwater, dude.
But they actually, there's a couple where they spent less. In ETH terms, they're up, but you basically have to divide everything by at least 2. And that's just because we're on this little run of ETH right now. Like, look, so they got autoglyphs, right? Man, they went hard as, man.
Yes, they did, dude. Yes.
Wow. They went hard as fuck. So these are 265, 254 ETH, 269 ETH sales on autoglyphs. The autoglyph floor, I believe we were just talking about it, Node, in one of our shows last week. It's like a 300 ETH floor. But again, ETH is half of what it used to cost. And that's only because we're in a relief rally. It could change. It could be back down to $1,000 and then it's a third. This is completely wild that they got wrecked like this. I mean, look at, oh, okay. So they got a Bored Ape Kennel Club. They got a gold Bored Ape Kennel Club. This is one of the better things that I've seen today that they bought for 11 ETH. That's pretty good.
Yeah. If you switch over to they've got another wallet. I'm not 100% sure that this is their other wallet, but like I'm pretty positive because I looked at like a lot of the transactions going back and forth. But if you look at their other wallet, they've got a gold ape and a mutant ape. So it's like they've got
That's
the golden ape, mutant ape, and then the gold kennel dog. So they have some PFPs. They've actually got a bunch of punks as well on that other one. We can check that out later. But yeah, dude, it's like they just went so hard on apparitions. Like basically every single like generative art drop on art blocks that was curated, I think they just scooped up a bunch of each. Like that must have been their overall strategy. Elevated deconstructions, these guys are expensive. Like I bet they paid a good chunk for those. How much are they now?
Yeah, they paid 69. The floor is 35. I mean,
oh man. This
also
makes me feel a little better as a trader, right? It's like, oh, I'm not as I wasn't as insane as they were, that's for sure.
Yeah, and keep in mind, in the past 2 months, there's been 4 sales. You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing to keep in mind is that in 4 months in 2 months there's been 4 sales. So the liquidity is basically non-existent, and in US dollars they're just wrecked. I love how they just said we're buying all the generative art from this period. The what's what, like they didn't miss a collection. They have all the good stuff. They're so lucky they got anything that held value like the Fidenzas, and they're lucky that they stumbled into some gold ape stuff, but clearly they weren't as comfortable going hard. That's typical, is like the finance guys, like the gigabrain guys, they're so smart. They're like, we're sticking to art. We're not going to do PFPs. PFPs are a fad, blah, blah, blah. Well, now you got a bunch of illiquid art that you're down 66+% on, and you're lucky that you had a gold kennel dog to just balance your portfolio, get you a little bit of a victory. I just love these guys. Here's the punks. Thank God you guys were smart enough to get some punks. They spent 810 ETH on a zombie. I think that's probably at value, or they might even be up on that. And they got some decent punks right here. So that's good. This is the main wallet too. And oh my God, Node, how underwater are they? Oh, okay. They got these early. They got the what are these? The Salo bots?
Bots? Yeah, I never really got into these things. Like, but I did notice, shout out to our guy, Brian Brinkman, dude. They have a few Nimbuds right there, man. It was funny because Brian was like, he tweeted out about this, was like, I don't know how I feel about this, like his pieces in their collection, like they're gonna get fire sold off. Who knows? Synapses. I had a Synapse once, lost money. Here's a fun story. Beanie gave me a Nimbud back in the day. He literally gifted. He was. Do you remember Euler Beats? That was
yes.
a music one.
Euler Beats.
Well, technically Euler, even though it looks like Euler. It's after that. Yeah, you look up the German pronunciation. But anyway, dude, he owned one of the OG like vinyls, and then he was trying to get his print holders to like play a game and get them more excited. Like if you were a print holder of his, so he did a whole like sweepstakes. And it was like, hey, find out some random info on Brian Brinkman. Whoever the fastest is, I'll give you an Nimbud. And I won it, dude. And that was like in February of last year or March. It was so awesome. I remember being so excited. And then I paper handed it. Sorry, Brian. But dude, yeah, like check out. He's got archetypes of those pegs they got as well. Like
the pegs, this is crazy. So they spent 40 ETH on this peg, but I think that the pegs are at 15. These are sick. I love these.
The pegs are fun. It's like this one's a unique collection, right? Isn't this by Matt Fury? Like do the pegs?
I think so the Pepe ones are very valuable, as you can imagine.
Yeah, and there's only 100, right? So they're kind of fun, but again, like let this be a lesson to all of us. Like if you go in these high-end, like low edition collections, you know what I mean? Like especially if you don't have something that's on the floor totally, dude, you're going to be in an illiquid world of hurt. So that just confirms my theory that this was all just one big, like let me show you how awesome I am flex. Like that was their whole move.
And probably trying to like pump the bags on the way,
Yeah.
in the sense that they're like 3 Arrows invested in this, the 3 Arrows collection. That's like the final 101 is like build this insane collection, both so that you have the assets and like you have the exposure, but also so that you can pump the entire bag together. So they have a lot of generative masks here. They have other deeds in here. Are you sure this is? Are you sure this is them?
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure, dude. So what I think is like some of these other, like they put things in that other one. See, look, there's the gold ape, the gold mutants that would correspond with the dogs. They've got, I think we just saw the eternal pumps. So I think they had like this one was like, oh, somebody was actively having to manage stuff in order to claim things, right? So it's like if they had the apes, which I think they did, then they claimed the other deeds. And I looked and there's a bunch of transactions from people sending things from this wallet to that one or something. So they may own all those pudgies. Again, this may be speculation, but I'm pretty sure that this is their wallet. Because if you scroll up,
They have a twin
there's
flame.
a Justin Aversano. Yeah, the twin flames. They have the eternal pumps in here as well, and there's 4 of them. And eternal pumps were like super freaking expensive, and there was only 50 of them. So like I think this is still their wallet, and this is
And another peg.
Yeah, another peg. Those are all curated. Those like the blocks of art, I think. But yeah, I may have mentioned this on another on another call, but like the eternal pump thing is super interesting. So I'm not sure where the raptures are. It's WRAPTURES. So rapture. So eternal pump is by Dmitry Cherniak.
Yep.
So this is an interesting story, right? So Dmitry, like he's always trying to do like performance art as well. Like the Dead Ringers is a cool example of that. And Eternal Pumps is a really cool example of that because he created these, and then anyone that had an Eternal Pump, he gave them the ability to mint 1 Rapture. So 1 Eternal Pump got you 1 Rapture, which is a mint of another NFT. And so here, the Rapture. This is what's so cool about this collection. So here's what he said. Dmitry said, if nobody sells or lists their Rapture for a year from the time of mint, this collection will remain at 50 forever. If anybody sells in the next year, I'm going to increase the mint limit supply up to 666. So how crazy would it be if this liquidation, if they actually have the Rapture, that it gets sold because of that, and it totally alters this collection. It's almost like it makes the art and the story even more amazing because all the holders, all 50 of these guys, nobody has touched them. I know DC has like a few of these things. So like nobody has touched the Rapture. And if it's because these
dickheads got liquidated,
then it's like, I mean, can you imagine trying to explain this like in court, right, to the attorneys? Like, hey, Your Honor, by the way, we don't want those to sell yet because it alters the collection. Like, please don't sell it for another 7 months. Like, I don't know, man. This is wild. It's so fun.
Thank you for bringing that up, man, because that is just completely insane. And I think that it could happen because of these guys. If anything, then DC investors going to hate them even more. Do me a favor. If he does actually come on the show, obviously I want him to so bad. There's like basically no one that I'd want to have on the show more at this point. But I'll believe it when I see it because I know that these guys, they're big shots. It's hard to get them to show up to stuff. But if he does come on, it's going to be unbelievable. You got to ask him this question. You got to bring this up and you got to say like, how are you going to feel if they sell a Rapture? He's probably going to be like, how dare you even put that into the world?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, dude, he'll be like, dude, I can't. He's like, it's an insult to this art that it's in their portfolio, right? Like the fact that they own all of this, like, it probably makes him roll over. Dude, if he comes on the show, apologies in advance, dude. I'm gonna monopolize that show like nobody's business. Everyone's gonna be so pissed at me, but dude, I am his #1 fan. Like, no DC investor, no Depeche Node, dude. Like, you guys came in through Nifty Gateway. I literally came in through DC investor. Like I was
How did you find out about
I
him?
was following. I actually may have found out about him through Bankless, but it was just crypto Twitter. Like as I started learning more, you start following more people. And I found him, dude. He only had like 10,000 followers at the time. His PFP was a picture of him in a suit. Like it was
Oh
his face and
shit.
a suit. And you know, he was still like the DC investor, like the, you know, like the suit guy. And I was learning a ton about ETH at the time, right? So this was like a little over a year and a half ago. And I was just getting deep into like DeFi and Ethereum, and DC is incredibly knowledgeable from a technical standpoint on all blockchain tech. Like he actually gets it fundamentally, much more so than 99.9% of people out there. So I learned so much from him. And then he started talking about CryptoPunks and NFTs and this like nascent asset class and the incredible like potential behind this technology. And so I literally bought my first one of my first buys was a CryptoPunk, and it was because of him. I was like, he helped me understand like the value behind NFTs and CryptoPunks. And then I went and bought one. One other reason why I bought a CryptoPunk, you're gonna love this, is Anthony Sassano, who is like the ETH maxi dude. He wrote a joke tweet once that was like, you know, there's 21 million Bitcoin. There's only 10,000 CryptoPunks. I was like, yeah, you know what? I bet that punks are going to flip Bitcoin. And this was back when they were worth like, you know, very little. And you know, it came to pass. So, you know, we love the CryptoPunk meme, dude. In my opinion, dude, it totally just destroys your cute little Bitcoin meme because the supply is so scarce, dude. Look at that. 10K versus 21 million, bro.
Yeah, you're comparing like a Picasso to a bar of gold.
I know, but the scarcity mindset is there, dude.
Dude, I was thinking about it the other day. I owned, like I had over 1 Bitcoin before I even got into NFTs, right? And so when Apes came out, I could have minted like 200 plus of them just with the Bitcoin I had. Forget about anything else I had. Probably more. I mean, if you look at it, but at that time, the idea of doing something like that would be totally preposterous.
Yeah.
Like the idea of me changing my Bitcoin into Bored Apes would have been completely ridiculous. And you know, I was there when Apes came out. I had the Bitcoin, like they're totally in the spot to do it. So hindsight's 2020. It's tough to see what's going to come. I really like these raptures from an art perspective, man. This guy Cherniak's really he's really the guy. So look, so we talked about 3 Arrows, man. Any closing thoughts? Like, do we have a date on when stuff's going to go down? Like, what's kind of the story here?
Yeah, I don't know. Like there was a tweet from a guy, and like here I go. I'm just going off some tweet from a guy that says he was a creditor, right? And they were supposed to meet like this week to start talking through it, in terms of like what happens to their assets. But like I was talking to someone today, and they mentioned like, you know, these things don't happen overnight, right? Like this process could take a long time. So I actually have no idea on the status. Like I don't even think people know how much they have. Like I don't think people know how many assets under management like 3AC even has in total. So it may take a while for them to actually figure out, okay, here's what they have. And I just, you know, I wonder what they do with the NFT collection. It's like I wonder if this is like front and center or if this is something on the very end. But it's crazy, dude. I'm excited to see what happens regardless. Dude, I say we find some people, let's put together a fund, get this thing OTC at a massive discount, and then right away, dude, it would be legendary, you know? Like I can't do it, but you know, the big shots, I can, let's manifest this, you know what I mean?
No thanks. I don't want any of this shit. I mean,
Oh,
look,
come on. You don't want okay, you don't want a gold ape. Okay. Like you don't want 10 CryptoPunks. You don't want 30 ringers and 30 Fidenzas. I would happily give them all to me, dude. You can go ahead and hang out with whatever you got these days. Your Akus, you got any left? I don't know, man.
Of course I do.
Of course. How dare you? How dare you insinuate I own no Akus?
I've sold like 2. I think I'm going to sell one more.
You're an Aku whale. I forget. Let's all hail the Aku whale.
I would buy CryptoPunks. Like my thing is CryptoPunks right now. I don't have any, but my thing would be CryptoPunks. To me, it's the safest thing. It's got liquidity, a ton of it. I love like Fidenzas and stuff like that, but at the same time, there's just nothing like CryptoPunks. And that's kind of the long and short of it. Anthony just said Pio has no taste. Get the fuck out of here, Anthony, man. Anthony bought some Bored
He's
Apes. He
always
thinks
there.
he's got like a scarf on inside and he's wearing glasses even though he doesn't need them.
Oh,
Wearing
he's
like a
one of those
beret.
guys. One of
Yeah.
those guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, dude, Pio's got good taste. He just bought a dick butt, dude. He's got those CDBs, so he knows. He's part of the Illuminati.
But yeah, so it's just all about CryptoPunks to me. So if someone wanted to buy the CryptoPunks from the collection, then I totally would, from the 3AC collection. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, one entity that is not going under is FTX. So you already know you got to sign up at thenifty.com/FTX or with the code the Nifty on your FTX mobile app. FTX has the cheapest prices for buying crypto. If you sign up with our code and spend over $200, then you will get a $20 bonus in whatever crypto you bought deposited into your account immediately. So make sure that you sign up. While you're there, you're going to see that they're rolling out stock trading, including fractional shares. So if you want to diversify and get away from this crypto bloodbath, even though it's a good time to buy because we're going to go lower from here. Come on now. Anyway, check out FTX. You already know they're out here buying entities in the crypto space while 3 Arrows Capital is going bankrupt. So we know who the winner is, Suzu or Sam Bankman-Fried. Talk about egg on your face, Suzu. Yeah, I mean, look, that's my style right there. That punk. That's what I'm talking about, you know?
She's a beauty. She's a beauty. I like it.
I think
It's a
it's a
he.
male
It's a he.
punk.
It's a he. But you know, when you talk about art, it's always like it's a she. You know, I don't know. It's just it is what it is. But yes, this is a male. We'll get the identity straight. But you know,
Absolutely. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you follow Node at DePetch Node on Twitter. I will see you guys next time.